right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the A Better Me. I know usually this is the point where I let you guys know that I am your host, Trey, right? But because I wanted to do something a little different, if you guys don't know, today is my baby's birthday. My baby, 2 years old. So I'm spending a lot of time with him today. We're just having a great time getting ice cream wasted, right? So today, rather than me, that's the episode, I brought some fresh faces and a fresh host, right? And without further ado, we'll have that host come in and introduce herself for you guys as we talk about episode number 26.
Hey guys, my name is Chrissy. Welcome to episode 26. I am your host for today, and welcome to A New Me Equals a New We. My name is Chrissy again. I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm pretty much an artist. I'm sorry guys, I'm a little nervous. I'm an artist. I tap a little bit into the activist, category. I'm a very hardworking person. And yeah, that's all I have just for you guys for right now. Kiki, you could introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It's Kiki. I'm a hairstylist. I do hair, and I'm from Brooklyn. And that's really it.
Yeah. So our topic for today is entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship, it is a big thing right now, especially since COVID hit. All of these new companies, especially Black owned, and entrepreneurs has finally found time to get themselves together and their business together. Let's be honest, there are downfalls and positive outcomes when it comes to supporting these businesses, let alone owning one. I know about that as well. And hopefully we're going to get into all of that in this episode. So the first thing I want to get into is that many first class people know a lot about businesses and have segues to help these upcoming entrepreneurs, right? But personally, I feel like taking over your own business, starting everything from scratch, even going to school for it, is better for your career, because one, you're starting from scratch, you're learning everything by yourself. So with that being said, the way I would go about my business is pretty much Lord.
So it looked like Chrissy had a little bit of technical difficulties, but she'll definitely be back in just one moment again to continue to host episode number 26, Entrepreneurship. One of the things that I've noticed about entrepreneurship, before Chrissy able to jump back in, is like she said, during the pandemic, we noticed so much more people jumping into that role and saying, okay, this is what I want to do, and taking that leap. What for some might say is like a leap of faith, right? And taking that leap and saying, okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to work on my dream. And Kiki, for you, somebody that's an entrepreneur, and you're taking that step. What's something for you that made you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take that step. I'm going to run with this, and this is what I want to do. Like, I'm going to be that entrepreneur that I know I am.
Well, when I first started doing hair, I really wasn't that good at it. But when you get that practice and you really see that you can really do it and you keep pushing yourself, then you get better at it. And that's just something I knew I wanted to do.
I am so sorry, guys. Somebody has definitely interrupted this live. So yeah, so I'm sure that you guys have talked about like not counting on any. What was you guys just talking about? Fill me in.
Well, I was just asking a question.
Sorry, guys. Right. So I actually, with everything that was going on with and just people there being such an uproar and people wanting to follow their dreams and be an entrepreneur, what was it for her that made her say, you know what, I want to go ahead and be an entrepreneur and I'm going to follow my dream and
Right, right. So yeah, answer that question one more time, Kiki.
give me
So,
1 second. Sorry, y'all. So we actually have another guest, right? And we're gonna have our next guest come in. I just want to make sure of a few things. If you're viewing this live, so sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Um,
Hey y'all.
there we go.
Hi.
And we have Hannah. So Hannah, can you do me a
Hi.
quick favor before we continue with our episode? Introduce yourself for our viewers and just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so hi, I'm Hannah. I'm from the Bronx. I'm friends with Crystal. And yeah.
Okay, so pretty much we just jumped into the fact that entrepreneurship and owning businesses is a big thing now, especially since the pandemic started.
Mhm.
Um, he also I'm not gonna start into that. I'm gonna just jump into my questions. Um, well, what do you think, Hannah? Since you just came, like, what do you think should be like the first thing that you would do if you owned a business and you wanted to be into
Um
entrepreneurship? What's the first step that you would take?
Research.
Most
Just
definitely. Mhm.
yeah, like I'm what's it called? That like business and contracts and all that is my thing. That's what I like look into and the logistics of everything. So research. If you want to start a business, make sure you know everything about what you want to create first and then go from there.
Right, right. So, Kiki, what about
mhm.
you? Like, yeah, what's the first key thing that you would do? What's like the first thing that you would do if you wanted to get into a business?
Yeah, I agree with Hannah. It's definitely is research. Without the research, you wouldn't know what to do. You got to make sure you're on top of your business. If you're not, it's not going to go the way you want it to go. It's going to take a whole nother turn. So research is definitely one of the main things that you need to do. To
Right.
know.
Right. Sorry. And that's why starting by scratch is definitely important, especially even though some people they don't go to school to learn about entrepreneurship, but I personally feel like it is important to go to
Mhm.
school for that because you literally get taught everything bit by bit. You don't have to rely on a first class person to teach you about it. And on top of that, when it comes to relying on somebody with your business, that person might want to scoop in and get a little percent out of that, if it's especially if it's going great. So with that being said, I would say, like, just don't count on anybody else. Like, count on yourself, motivate yourself when it comes to running your business. Make sure you have faith in your products, especially
Mhm.
because you are the only person that is going to get you to the place that you want to be. Right. So I would also like to touch on when it comes to relying on yourself, it does come with a lot of stuff. You do have to also like focus on your health. That is important, and the weight of owning your own business, pretty much. It is a lot. So I do applaud the black people, period, that, own their businesses now, especially since the pandemic started, because they could have just put anything away. They could have just put it away. They could have just stopped doing what they were doing. They didn't have to do anything at all. They could have just become lazy. So, yeah. So let's talk about how the like women of color, like they're wanting to start their own, not even women, people of color, specifically people of color. They want to start their own business, but so with these upcoming entrepreneurships, right? Do you think they'll take account and think about how their products and or business will influence people or society, period? And do you think that they'll worry about if the influence is like positive or negative? If you guys need me to say the question again, I will definitely do that. I have no problem doing that. So Kiki or Hannah, whichever wants to go first.
I mean, I would hope so. Like, I would hope that they would, what's it called? They would think about how this is going to influence other people and
Right.
things like that. I think also that kind of leads into like marketing and how you promote yourself. Like, I know a lot of people, especially during COVID, are using like social media and things like that. So I feel like also how you present yourself, like along with your business, your image is very important because you're going to attract the type of people that are similar to you. So depending on the type of image that you put out there for you along with your business is going to attract those type of people.
Right. So, anything you want to add on, Kiki, or?
I feel like some people do feel like their business or what they do does encourage other people to do the same, which is true because it does. A lot of people sometimes don't even know what they want to do in life, but sometimes they get that one little influence that be like, oh, hey, I could build my own business. I could start from something from the bottom and come all the way up to the top and do what I feel like is necessary. And they feel like building their own company is necessary, which is a great thing. And I feel like influencing others to do the same is amazing.
I'm sorry, you did cut off, but that is okay. Do you want to repeat your last sentence, or?
My last sentence. Oh, that I feel that it is amazing that other people want to influence others to do the same thing and to be their own boss and make their own decisions.
Right, right. Thank you for that, especially. So, the next question is, starting a business can be a scary process. Did you did coming into anything, it doesn't even have to be owning it, like coming into anything, did you, because anything that has to do with a business, you do sometimes experience nervousness or fear. So did you guys experience anything like that, and how did you get over your fear?
Yeah, I was nervous in the beginning when I first started doing hair because I didn't think I was as good as I thought I was. But then when I started to really get better at it and really see that I am actually good at what I do, I started to fall in love with it and I just started to believe in myself more.
Right. I can definitely agree and say that when I also started doing hair, I was most definitely nervous. I was so nervous that I started doing hair for free. Like that's how I started doing hair, because I wanted to, work on my craft and stuff like that. I was scared to, mess up and stuff. But honestly, the whole time the work was good. That's how like sometimes if you overthink, and that's how when fear comes in, like once you start overthinking and once you start doubting yourself and not, remembering how much you're worth, right? How you treat how you think how much your worth is at that time is how you're going to treat yourself. So that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like starting anything especially businesses, it has a lot of fear that comes along with it. And Hannah, would you like to piggyback on that, or?
Yeah, I think it also goes back to being well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I'm a past business owner, so I was taking an entrepreneurship class and I created like a lotion for people with sensitive skin. And
Mm-hmm.
that came with a lot of research. I had to find out what chemicals like affected the skin in what way. I think it all just goes back to making sure that you're on point with everything. I think even with your guys' hair braiding, like knowing which hair is the best and things like that, knowing like how to do your parts correctly and things like that. It
Mm-hmm.
just really goes down to practice and research
Right.
and self-belief, honestly.
Right. So, moving on to another question. I also thank you guys and appreciate you guys putting your time in to tonight, especially. Um, Especially because you guys were handpicked. I know you guys have a lot that you guys have planned in the future, so it was very important for me to have you guys on here specifically. So our next question is, when it comes to owning your own business, you have to have connections. Even if it's not popular connections, it's just very important to just have them overall. Why do you think it's so hard specifically for people of color to gain the publicity that they deserve? And I will repeat the question if I have to. Y'all can just ask. It's a-okay.
I think honestly, it might be harder because people tend to underestimate
Mm-hmm.
based on race, like for any people of color, like what's it called? I have been like, I'm like a light skinned female, but I've been categorized into like
Right.
this, I guess you could say, like section of people who are not smart, who aren't intelligent. And it's kind of like I have created this thing and you're sitting there, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's more of like, it's just when you're a person of color, you get stereotyped. And it's
Right.
hard for people to break out of learned behavior. So if they've grown up in a racist household or they've grown up in a household who didn't have the best morals and they were taught this from a young age, that's what they're going to grow up believing and that's what they're going to stand for and that's always going to be in their head unless they get proved wrong. And I feel like people of color are not often given the chance to prove those people wrong. So
Right.
yeah.
No, I really like the last thing you said, that people of color are not really, it's this a very slim chance that they are going to get the opportunity to prove like what they can bring to the table. And even as like, it's as easy as a quiet person. A business can deny a quiet person if they're just so mellow, when really what they have in their pockets, they could bring a whole bunch of stuff in plus more, especially maybe expand the customers too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why it's very much important to just not judge a book by its cover, really, especially with people of color. Thank you so much. Also, Kiki, the question was, why do you think it's hard for specifically people of color to gain the publicity that they deserve?
I feel like it's because some people try to base everything off of your color and then how you look or how you dress. It doesn't matter about that. It's more of, if are you passionate about what you're doing? Do you
Right.
love what you do? If you do, then that's great. There's gonna be people out there that's gonna doubt you and gonna tell you, oh, you can't do it, make it. That's fine, but there's others that's gonna be like, girl, you got it, or boy, you got this. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. And then that's exactly how it should be. Don't let anybody doubt you about what you want to do in life. Because what you do in life is what's gonna make you successful, no matter what anybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that it's a popularity contest. You can literally sell eyelashes, right? You could be a normal person, you could get 10 likes on Facebook. You'll be lucky. Say you are the type of person to be lucky to even get 10 likes on Facebook. Like, you could sell lashes, you could sell the whole package, you could sell designer shoes. Like, not a lot of people would buy it from you because you're you, because you don't, not even because you're you, because you don't get a lot of likes. And that's one thing that I really don't really specifically like about this generation in particular. Like, it's not always a popularity contest. If you see, especially if the price is like, you could deal with the price, why not? Like, it shouldn't matter who the person is or where they're from. So yes, most definitely. I have another question, and it sometimes there are ups and downs. How can beginner entrepreneurs stay encouraged? Like, any advice to them?
Hmm.
I feel like the most thing is believing yourself,
Right.
no matter what is, keep going. And the most thing about having your own business and having your own, your own little thing to do is always like, how to explain it? How can I explain it for you? Like, to always make sure you advertise your business. Always advertise your business. If you don't advertise your business,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna know about your business. And nobody's gonna know that, oh wow, this person is doing hair, so they really good at doing hair, so I'm gonna get my hair done by them. If you don't advertise your business, post
Hmm.
your stuff, nobody's gonna know. Don't feel like because this is your first time doing hair or your second time doing it, it's not good enough to advertise it. Let it be known that you're out there and you can do hair and you want customers, and there's people out there who need their hair done. So let them know, come to me, get your hair done.
Right.
Hmm.
Oh.
I think honestly, don't be afraid to collaborate. I think that in our generation, people tend to be real like cocky and have this independent lifestyle where they don't want to like take no handouts or nothing like that. And I feel like that could end up sometimes hurting some people. Like if you feel like the vibe is genuine coming from another person who is starting a business just like you, don't be afraid to collaborate. Let's say, for example, there's someone making beads or making like hair accessories and you're a hair braider. Don't be afraid to make that happen and boost both of your followers up and things like that.
Right. So one advice from one business person to another. It would be your own boss. Don't let anybody boss you around. Don't let anybody tell you what to do with your money, especially. But if you're about to spend it on nonsense, just stop yourself, collect yourself, and think, can I use this for this big MCM bag, or can I really use this money to expand, you know? Because literally, just you could, it even takes for you to wait till tomorrow, right? You want to buy this MCM bag today, but this opportunity to expand your business can come tomorrow, So when it comes to being your own, I'm not trying to tell y'all what you do with the money, but be your own boss and be very wise when it comes to spending your money, because it does come in handy in the future. um Let me see. So also, I would also love to add, don't feel sorry for anybody. And what I mean by that is, don't give out handouts. Don't give out free hand. Don't do like I did, okay? Don't be a beginner in a business and give out free handouts, because that, it doesn't, I'm not gonna say that lowers your worth in the business, but that's gonna let people think, oh, I could come and I could bring a friend and we could get, we can only pay $10, even though this item is like $70, $80. Like, stand your ground. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't even matter if it's your best friend. It doesn't matter if it's your sister, your brother, your cousin. Always stand your ground and be strong, willing. And also, when it comes to being strong, willing, meaning, I think I also talked about this in the beginning, having faith in your products. I really want to touch on that, because having faith in your products is a really big thing. Like, I had a certain time where I was even selling lashes, and I had little cases in it. And a bigger opportunity came, and I took that and I put the lashes to the side. Mind you, I could have the opportunity and the lashes, but that's because I didn't have faith. I was making a little one two money off the lashes, but always, like, if a business is running, and it doesn't matter how slow it is, keep on going. Keep having faith in your products. Keep having faith in your business. Simple as that. Anybody want to piggyback off of that? Or we can keep on going. We gonna keep on going. So another question is, because I spoke about, Hannah, you did speak about collaborating. So sorry. Okay, sorry. Scratch that. What was your best slash worst experience about owning your own business, and could you share? Like, do you feel comfortable enough to share that?
Me?
Anybody? Sorry, I didn't. Specifically.
No. Honestly, I feel like for me the most, wait, we're talking about the most challenging thing?
Your best. What is your best slash worst experience about owning your own business?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me the best thing that I got out of it, because I'm not going on with that business anymore, but what I did learn from it was how to network, how to do proper research, how to what's it called? How to do proper research, how to talk to people, how to present a product to someone and to a certain group of people, how to market. And with me I'm going for a business degree, but in music, it helped me a lot with like getting down the logistics of different things. So working on stats, working on, I need this percent of this, and I'm gonna make out of this much money, I'm gonna take out this much to buy the things I need to create more of my product. Like it was just time management, money management, things like that.
Right. Kiki? Any
Repeat that.
worst or good experiences about owning your own business?
I've never had a worse. Well, the only experience that I say was the worst was when I first started, because it was hard at first to, like, you just started, so it's gonna be hard for you to be able um to promote your business. It's gonna be a little hard. Not everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, she's new, so let me try her out on her doing my hair. But, people are very open about their hair, as they should be. So it was hard at first, but I feel like now it's just gotten better, and there's people out there who want to be like, hey, I like the way you do hair. Could you do my hair? Like, it gets better. So it's like, don't ever give up. Just keep going.
Right. I feel very proud of you guys that we are all comfortable with sharing that sometimes our businesses did not come as planned. That's I feel like that's a very big thing to, like, own up to, especially a very big thing for other people to hear, so that they can share their experiences. And yeah, so okay, so did any
Wait,
of
can you
you
guys still
guys?
see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So did any of you guys collaborate with anybody, like anything?
No, never collab with anybody.
Okay. So
I have.
mhm.
I When I actually started my business, I started with another person. Like we were co-owners, co-founders, I guess you could call it.
Right.
And honestly, it ended up not working out because they kind of they weren't taking it seriously. Like it kind of led for, like, they were just like going back to what Chrissy was saying, using their money irresponsibly and just not helping me better the business. It kind of just, it was like a weak link, kind of like there was just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes where I felt like I was doing this on my own anyway. So it really made no sense to have like a business partner, if that makes sense.
Right. That makes sense.
Right. One thing that I really always wanted to touch on when it came to owning a business, because one big thing that I did notice in the beginning of the pandemic was that um everybody, even like, okay, so there's scammers out there, right? But it's like people own the business, but they was like still like scamming people. And personally, that made me not to really, be comfortable, like as comfortable as I was, like to look at other people's black owned businesses and be like, yeah, I can trust you guys, right?
Right.
So yeah, I really do want to touch on that subject. Personally, I really do not know where to start with that. Because it was very disappointing to see like our people just fail each other like that,
Right.
and fail each other's time, feel like waste each other's money, especially like it was a big thing. How did you guys feel like around that time? Because that little, like, it still happens like once in a blue moon, but that was a huge thing. Like everybody was just making fake accounts, make everything like make look perfect. Even they had hair. They literally had hair businesses. They would have hair on the mannequins. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, you gotta give me a $50 deposit before you even, and then you got to pay the rest when you walk in and stuff, right? And they'll still scam you. So like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, what do you guys especially do to like work your way around it to prevent that from happening to you, really?
So with that, that's like it's really kind of hard to prevent that from happening because you're not really sure on which is fake or what is a real business or what's a fake business. Because when pandemic, like you said, when pandemic really first started, that was very popular
Mm-hmm.
because people thought that was okay and it wasn't okay. You
Right.
taking up money and there's people out there losing their jobs because of this COVID situation. I just thought that wasn't right. And it's not an easy thing for you to be like, oh, you go on the website and you want to buy something, for you to be like, oh, I want this, and then for you to turn out for it to turn out to be like a bunch of money, like $400, $600 you spending, and somebody just to take your money, you never get what you ordered. That's not fair.
Right. Right.
Just people work hard for their money.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Hannah, would you like to piggyback on that as well? Because I know,
Um,
like, everybody, like, you don't even have to get scammed to even feel away. It's just like, it's
yeah,
there. Like, this is really happening. So,
I think a piece of advice that I would give to business owners looking to collaborate is make sure that the person you're collaborating with, you first of all meet in person.
oh, yeah.
I know with COVID that might have been a little harder,
Right.
but make sure either number one, you have met them in person, and number two, you have gained a connection with them on level, on a business level and on a personal level. If they can trust you enough to share their personal information with you, that means that they have a certain amount of trust and loyalty for you, meaning they wouldn't want to take advantage of you or your customers.
Right.
So I
Right.
just think that gaining a genuine connection with the person that you're looking to collaborate with and getting to learn how they are when it comes to a business and if they take it seriously is very important.
Right. Genuinely having that feeling and connection, have that genuine connection. And that's why I'm saying is, I think you also said that too. That's why it's like so stuck in my head. Like, make sure you know the person that you are
Mm-hmm.
working with. Don't
Yeah.
get to know them midway into, collaborating with them. That's like the worst thing you could do. And because especially if y'all start building a fan base, oh, everybody gonna be in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, they gonna want to know the tea. They gonna know that. They gonna want to know what's all up in between the ham sandwich. So, you know. So yeah. So another question I have for you guys. So when you guys had the business, who was y'all supporters, and how did that help you too? Like, how did that make you feel to find out that these people are actually taking their time out to support you?
It really does feel good to know that you got people out there that really do support you, and it's amazing to know that you have people to that's out there. support you, because there's a lot of people out there who don't want to see you succeed, who don't want to see you push forward from whatever you've been through, from your past or whatever it is. There's a lot of people out there who don't want to see you move forward, and it's a good thing that you did move forward, because if you didn't, where would you be now?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
to everybody who supported me, thank you to you too, Chrissy, because you was definitely one of my supporters.
Of course, I had to swing you a little client here and there.
Yeah.
I'm saying. you know.
I think honestly, for the little bit of time that I did have my business, I think that my main supporters were like my family and the teacher who was guiding me. Um, and I think having a support system of any kind, whether they be blood or not, is very
Right.
important. Um, and yeah, you have a new supporter, both of y'all. Yeah, I know y'all have my support now. So if y'all
Thank you.
ever need anything, y'all got me.
Thank you.
But yeah, like I think just having someone you can trust, and having people that, like in your case, customers that are constant, like
Yeah.
having the same people come back to you over and over, that must feel really good to know that they enjoyed your work that much to want to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I like to. I'm kind of like an overthinker. Like when it comes to randomly, you could say randomly walking into a nail salon. It could be a person of any color. They could be from anywhere. And it's just like, girl, you have a business. If you do good on my nails, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I really like. Like, you don't know them from a hole in the wall. You don't know nothing about their personalities. Like, you can really just walk in, see their work, and you just want to support. And that's what a real support system does. Like, they don't have to know you from a hole in the wall or anything. Like, they can just support you. Y'all could add on to that as well, because that makes me feel good person, even like being like a bystander and just seeing that by itself, like I really
Mm-hmm.
do feel good about that. So Hannah, would you like to go back into the same business? If not, why? And if so, when? And if you miss any of these questions, I will go back to it so you can answer it.
Okay. Honestly, I would not. It just simply for the fact that I see myself becoming a business owner in the future, but I feel like honestly, just the lotion and that whole like era and what I was doing wasn't really me. Like it was more of just like an assignment that I was getting done. And I feel like now, honestly, if I were to get into a business, and the business that I'm hoping to create in the future is affordable music equipment, like affordable mics, affordable soundboards and studio equipment for like the music artists that don't have the money to buy these good mics and these good soundboards and these good laptops, things like that, who are talented but don't have the resources or the money to be able to create the music that they want. So yeah.
Right. I said Hannah. Kiki, I also want to ask you the same question.
Repeat it again.
Okay, so the question was, um, would you like to go back into the same business? Well, in your case, how long do you think you see yourself like really running with this business? And what exactly do you want to do with it? Like, go into the whole depth of it.
So I do see myself going far with my hair business, and I do want to improve it more, where I do want to be able to own my own companies, my own hair companies, and I do want to start selling hair. So it's something that I do that I am passionate about. So it's something that I see myself doing further from here.
Right. We do definitely have talks about that because,
Yeah.
I'm a hair girl myself. So
Right.
I'm definitely with all of that. Also, I have another question. What is the source of your passion, like for your business? What's the source for your passion, like specifically?
um I think for me, It's
Even
my
for a
main,
future business on top of that, like, yeah.
yeah, my main thing lately has been like equality in the music industry. That's like my goal. That's what I'm going to college for. That's what I'm trying to create in the future. Like, is equality in the music industry for specifically women and people of color, because there's it's too often where we hear that people of color's ideas are getting stolen, or women are being abused or disregarded or being treated poorly when most of the ideas come from either women or people of color. And I feel like there would be way more people of color in the industry if they had the resources that people of other races may have. And I feel like also my love for music is like I want to be part of an industry that's all inclusive and that's equal, and that's a sense of a safe haven and peace for everyone. So yeah, that's where my passion like brews, I guess.
Yes, I really love that answer. Um, and Kiki, like, where do like what's your source? Like, what's your main source that you really want to help your business grow? Like, especially because you was just talking about some hair oils. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was.
Definitely was.
I was definitely talking about making my own hair product to help hair growth. And to start with my companies, I do want to go to school for international business. So I could start off with my companies that I do want to start. So I feel like that should be the start to make my business go further than it should.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna stop pinning everything on y'all and just go into a little you know, I'm just explain what I really want to do like in the future, what my source would be, like what I would really, want to do. So for my future and the process, because I already started my process when it comes to my career. I also want to do music. Not only music, like I'm already taking the steps. I'm already doing like honestly, I'm at the point that I don't even know if I want to be a director or an actual soloist. Like I don't know which one I want to do because I'm just like all over the place. I'm just into the just this grind. But what I really know what that I really have to push for is the dance company that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have been dancing for years. I'll just spill a little bit of tea. Especially because I got into me, my brother, and my mom. We did get into a car crash in March, in the beginning of this year. So, like, that, it did mess up my back. So, it did make me, it pushed me into wanting to take care of my body more to even like continue with the dancing because I was just standing just like in the bathroom and my back was hurting and I started thinking about college and I'm like I want to be a majorette dancer. Not only that, like I want to own my own like dance studio. So like even being a majorette dancer, they bend in their back and all of that. So that definitely, I shouldn't say that crash pushed me into like wanting to better myself and better my body, but life happens and it just, it focuses you, I can really say. So that's my source that I use is focus, really. I get myself back into that drive as much as I can. I talk myself into doing whatever I need to do. Um, and yeah, that's all really that I have to say for that. Another question. Do you think trying different things as a young person is a waste of time? Now, I'm gonna ask that question again because that is a very I shouldn't say tricky, but it's a very thoughtful question. Do you think trying different things as a young person is a waste of time?
No, I don't think it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. You don't know what you do until you try it. You don't know what you're gonna love. I'm saying I'm talking about doing hair, all this and that. What about if I feel like doing lashes tomorrow and that's something I start getting into?
Right.
Because lash tech, that's something I could do. So it's like it's never too late to change what you want to do. It's never too late to say, oh, I feel like I want to do this. Or you could do it both. It's up to you. As long as you know that you can handle it and that you're mentally and physically there to juggle that situation and juggle those things, then therefore you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hannah, would you like to add on?
Yeah, I think that honestly, it's a part of life to try new things. Like you're like, sorry, Kay, is that her name?
Oh, Kiki.
Okay.
Kiki, sorry. Yeah, like Kiki was saying, I think that it is important to try new things because you never really know what you want to focus on. And I really like how she said you can do both because
Right.
there are a lot of females in the business who are handling way more than one business or have way more than one career. Like I have brought up before, like B Simone on Wall and Out is a successful comedian, but has
Mm-hmm.
detox pills and is working on her fitness and has a book out and all this other stuff is going on for her, as well as a lot of other people in the business. So I think exploring is really important.
Right. I would also like to add on to that because I am a victim in figuring out the fact that it really is true that trying different things, it's really not a waste of time because I love serving customers, right? My first job, I was working in a fast food restaurant. I will not say the name of it. um So yeah, my first job was a fast food restaurant, and I was always like, "Oh, retail, it's too hard, this and that, blah blah blah." And guess what? My second job is today, retail. I do clothes, I do sneakers, I do bags, I do the whole nine, and that's because I decided to just go out of my comfort zone. And going out of your comfort zone, it really is. It's the best thing that you could really do. Um, to be honest, I see myself now working into more retail. And when I first started the job, when it comes to me learning stuff, period, I do catch on, but I did have doubts for this retail job, but I really don't regret doing this retail job. Like I cherish it so much. I have another my new manager does not like to call this job a retail job, but I also have now another job at a sneaker place named Snipes, and it's another retail job. And yeah, I did not think I would really get this deep into retail like at all. Like I've literally been going like at least a year and a half saying I will never do retail. So as a 19-year-old, like willing to push, willing to make this money, into feed back into people, that has definitely fed into me. Like trying different things, it's not a waste of time. You don't have to like cooking, but if you do a fast food restaurant job, or even if you cook breakfast for old people, you might like that job. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because you're making people smile. Like how could you not like the job? Even if you don't fully like it and it's not your thing, it's a good thing that you even put your time into it and your effort into it, and you did not doubt yourself, and you pushed yourself. That's the most important thing. You did push yourself out of your comfort zone to do anything. Literally, you literally just chose to do anything. So kudos to anybody that has also been in that position. Um, how do you handle haters in a business? Even as a regular business employee, because business is business. You could work in a retail store and you can have your own business as well. You know what I'm saying? That has something to do with retail. So how do you handle haters like overall?
I don't. I let them hate. I'm gonna let you do
I was
you.
just about to say the same thing.
I let you do you. You want to hate, that's on you. I didn't give you a reason to hate on it, but you did, and that's on you. So let you do you.
Right. And I feel like once you
And
start, I'm sorry, go ahead, Hannah.
no, you good, go ahead.
You go ahead.
um Honestly, and are you the one making money or am I? Like
Right.
it really got like nothing to do with the all you doing is sitting behind a screen or talking? Like, are you gonna give me some constructive criticism about the things that you don't like?
Exactly.
Are you gonna put money into my business or invest into my business? Are you investing in my business? Are you putting up your money to supply these things? Probably not. You just sitting there talking.
Exactly.
Right. To be honest, me handling my haters, I don't even think I'm gonna have time to even look their way because I'm gonna be too busy, counting up the racks,
Right.
like, like you just don't look their way. You just, even, I'm telling y'all, when y'all blow up and y'all see them little haters in the comments, block them or ignore them. Keep them there because they like you're gonna be happy that they are actually there because your real fans are gonna outweigh the haters at the end of the day. So that's that.
And it's gonna push you to become
Listen,
better.
I just
Most
want to
definitely.
say this, right? Y'all ladies have really been talking the talk. Like y'all really been putting everybody on. And again, if you're watching this episode, just make sure that you share this with somebody, right? Like if you're watching it right now, share this to your page because the information that these young ladies gave is so vital, right? And it's so important, right? For me that we have young people talk about stuff like this because the misconception is that young means uneducated or that they don't have information, right? But after listening to you young ladies talk, right? Like y'all have the information, like y'all have the plan. And the best thing about it is you guys are a part of what's going on right now, right? So you guys see it as it's happening. Whereas like the younger people, they're still growing. They don't know what's going on. They kind of stuck in their ways. So they still think we should look for jobs in newspapers, right? And all actuality, like we don't even have paper applications no more, right? So we got to go online and do different
Right.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All of the information that I gave was super, super, super dope. And at this point, like I feel like we need to have a part two, right?
Let's
And
talk
there's
about it.
something that I want to
Right.
talk about. Right. There's something that I want to talk about, right? But before I go into that, right, I want to ask one question to all of you ladies, right? One of the things that I noticed about entrepreneurship, right, and I know that you guys kind of touched on this before as far as like pricing goes, right? And me and Chrissy talked about this off air, right? Where for you ladies, like you'll have like a nail tech, right, that you go to. You go to Mei Ling, right? And Mei Ling charge you $60 for your nails, right? But then you go to Shaquanda and she charge you $125, right? And now you looking like Shaquanda. Like I can go to Mei Ling and get $60 and get everything that you offering me, and that you want to charge me 125, right? So as an entrepreneur, how important is it that you know what the market price is for what it is that you're selling, or what it is, the service that you're providing? So Chrissy, I'll start with you. Like how
Right.
important is it that you know the market price? And how do you think that most young, when I say young entrepreneurs, not by age, but
Mhm.
just in the sense of the age of their business, how important is it that young entrepreneurs know the market price for what it is, the service they're providing, or what it is that they're selling, Chrissy?
So I feel that it is very, very important to know when it first came out. Okay, when this product first came out, make sure you know how much it is. So if you get prices from other people, weigh it from like the highest to the lowest, to be honest. And um honestly honestly um to be honest, somebody piggyback off of this. Yeah, because I did have an answer, but it's not there.
Okay, so Hannah, I have a question for you, right? So we talked about how important is it that you know the market value for what it is that you're selling, right? And then
Mhm.
I know one of the things that you talked about was like the equipment, right? And being able to provide affordable equipment, right? But then as an entrepreneur, we definitely don't want to advertise ourselves as cheap, because then people don't take you serious, right? So how do you find that balance for you, being somebody that wants to make something affordable, but still you want people to take you serious in what you do? So how do you find that balance?
See, this is where being having network and having connections come in, because I, fortunately enough, am a music artist in myself. I'm friends with a lot of music artists. I study production, I study engineering, I study all of that. So I have the knowledge of the best equipment, the best programs, and all of that. But also, I'm friends with YouTubers and people who create content online, where I could just sponsor these channels, have them review my product, and make sure that it's authentic to their viewers. Like, make sure that when they're reviewing my product and comparing it to a well-known, let's say for example a mic, they're reviewing my mic and comparing it to a well-known mic brand. I want them to actually show the viewers the difference in sound. Like, have them use one mic and then have them use mine, and have use one soundboard and then use mine. Switch over. I want it to be as genuine as possible, because it could help me better my business. If it's not to the point where I thought it was, that only makes me get better. And if it is, then cool. Then the viewers will know that my stuff is worth buying and that it's not cheap.
Right. And that's so fire, because that goes back to a point that, again, you guys, I'm gonna keep saying that because y'all made a lot of great points, right? That goes back to the point that you guys made earlier. Like, the product really speaks for itself, right? So as long as you create a great product, or as long as you're providing a great service, like, it'll speak for itself, right? Whereas in some different cases, when you guys talked about like the scams and stuff like that, like, those things don't speak for themselves, right? And that's where those things kind of get washed out. But it makes it harder on the people that are actually out here really trying to provide a good product or service, because now people want to do their homework and do a little extra, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to having, you know, your service or your product. So for you, Kiki, right, when we talk about pricing, now hair is one of those things that I've realized is very, very competitive. Right, it's very competitive, and there are a lot of different variables when it comes into hair. Right, it might be like, what type of styles can you do? Right, like you'll speak to a certain hairstylist and she's like, okay, I can only do braids, or I can only do wigs, or I can only do this, and then we go into things like quality, like what's the quality of it? What type of hair do you use? And I know that you also mentioned like wanting to be the outlet, like, or the vendor for like hair and certain products and stuff like that. So when you look at all of those different things, how do you find a price point that's like, okay, this is good for my audience, this is good for my customers?
So with that, it's sometimes it could be very hard, because at certain different people everybody's hair is different. Let me put it like that. Everybody's hair is different. So with hair, you got to be very careful what you put in other people's hair. Some people do get allergic reactions to certain hairs, so you have to be very careful. So like if I'm doing Chrissy's hair and she says she's allergic to this kind of hair, now you got to make sure it's your priority to make sure that you buy this certain type of hair that doesn't have this type of chemical in it, or it doesn't have this type of color in it, because she can get allergic reaction and it's very dangerous. So you have to be very careful on what you do and how you do it.
Right.
Right. And what one of the things, and I want to point this out before we close, right? One of the things that I really like is that in everything that all of you guys said, right? Even when Chrissy was talking about working in retail, right? One of the things that me personally, this is not from any documentation or book or anything like that, but one of the things that I believe is that a lot of things that you can learn from running your own business, you'll learn from retail. Because you learn the basics as far as like customer service, sales, what goes in, what comes out, how to balance certain things, right? You learn those things when you work in a retail environment. Then also what you said with Kiki, what you said, Kiki, as far as like being diligent and saying, okay, this is what my customer, this is their current situation as far as like what they can take, what they can't take, what goes in their hair, what can't go in their hair. And then even Hannah, as far as what you said, like with the mics, like, listen, you can test what I do. You guys are really customer service oriented, right? And that's one of the things that I feel like when people have the complaints about young entrepreneurs or early businesses, so to say, that's one of the complaints that I see that a lot of people have is customer service, right? The service is not where it should be. And that's not to say that the product is bad, but when your customer service is not where it should be, it overshadows the product, right? It definitely overshadows the product. So you ladies really brought it today. We're definitely going to do a part 2 of this, right? So I'm gonna figure out when all of you ladies are available. We're going to do a part 2 of this. I'm going to be a part of the conversation. I can't wait to just be a part of it, right? I was in the background today, but I really can't wait to be a part of this conversation with you ladies live. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, right, when we talk about products and services, right? So I definitely had to jump in on this is one of the things that I had to really talk about is a better me equals a better we apparel, right? So every episode that you guys have seen me that has been live, you guys have seen a different design from our fall line, right? This here is the Better Me Equals a Better We hoodie, right? This is from our fall line. There's also sweatpants that come with this, right? So it's an entire sweatsuit. I would stand up so you guys can see it, but just trust me, it's a whole get up, right? A Better Me Equals a Better We sweatsuit. This comes in black and red, black and blue, black and white, black and gold. We can also do black and green. Just make sure you guys can message us. Let us know what colors that you want, and we can let you know if we have that in stock. Also, we're gonna have a Better Me Equals a Better We apparel, like what we have in stock as far as t-shirts, sweatsuits. We'll have that on the Facebook page. As you guys know, Facebook has a shop option. So we'll definitely have all that apparel there. And then the Better Me Equals a Better We website, the apparel, right? When I say website, I'm talking about the Better Me Equals a Better We apparel will have its own website. And you'll be able to purchase different products, either whether it be a Better Me Equals a Better We hoodie or something along the lines of, we had one of our designs was I'm a blank, what did you think one looked like, right? So it could be I'm a mother, what did you think one looked like? I'm an entrepreneur, what did you think one looked like, right? So you can customize that specific design for your personal use. We also have the design. If you got a problem, try Jesus, don't try me, right? So we have that as well as a bunch of different things that you guys will see available on our website and on the Facebook shop option, right? So I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. And I had to chime in just a little bit in the conversation because it was so good. I just felt like I had to get in the mix, right? And these ladies, for me, I don't know about you guys, I need y'all to put that in the comments. These ladies did an amazing job, right? So can y'all big these ladies up in the comments? Because the information that they gave, you wouldn't expect them to be so young, but they're already doing the work and putting that work in and gaining that information. So y'all big them up in the comments. And before we head out, I want to ask our host, right? Our host of this episode number 26, Entrepreneurship, right? Our host for this episode, do you have anything for our viewers before we?
Oh Lord, do I have anything? To be honest, just stay in tune. I do have a lot of things coming up. There are a lot of shows, if that's what you meant. There are a lot of shows. I actually am tapping into my dance business finally. I actually collaborated with a family member. So, but I'm still like, I'm owning the whole dance, facility, period. Like it'll be my thing. So I'll, y'all the first people to find out about this, whatnot. But yes, that's pretty much what is going on. You might see me pop out with a few singles and stuff like that. To be honest, but yeah,
Okay.
that's all that's going on. And thank you for
Okay, talk.
having me. I'm so thankful that you definitely trusted me into doing this. I'm so excited that you
Nah,
gave
no
me this
problem.
opportunity, and this will not be my last time.
That's a Snapple fact, and this is my little sister. So all y'all little boys in the comments, this is my little sister. So cut it out, right? Don't even think about it. Um, if somebody wants their hair done, right? You said that you do hair. Where can they find you? Like if somebody wants to say, "Hey, I like your hair. I like the way that you do hair." Where can people find you?
They can find me across the street from Kiki. Honestly, I would recommend them to Kiki because the hair business, what I'm doing, it is kind of slow. I'll probably like do hair at least like 3 times a year. I'm not really, but y'all have my Facebook. I am tagged. My Facebook is Chrissy Crystal MC. And y'all can also follow my Instagram because I do post most of my life there. Underscore forever underscore calm, which is spelled CALM underscore forever underscore calm underscore. But definitely hit up my girl Kiki. If y'all need to get in contact with her, y'all can come to me. Y'all get through me to her. So yeah.
All right. Look, Kiki, do you love me?
No,
Right, right. Okay, so look, Kiki, right? Do you have anything for our viewers before we head out?
all I gotta tell you guys is if you guys are interested in doing your own business, please, please push yourself to do what you gotta do.
Right.
Nobody's gonna do it for you but you. So keep on doing what you gotta do to do what you gotta do for you. And thank you so much for letting me on your what could I say this is?
Podcast.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you for
No,
letting me on.
listen, no problem. You ladies did an amazing job. And Kiki, if people want to find you to get their hair done, where can they find you?
My Facebook, you can go to my Facebook. My Facebook is Kiara John, and you can go there and you can hit me up in my inbox and I'll text back.
Nice, nice, nice. There we go. See, we doing all these things and we networking and all that, right? Like this is network 101, right? And the last thing I want to leave you guys with, right? On Black Friday, don't ask me as a matter of fact, November 26th, at 1 p.m. is the start. So it's from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. November 26th from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Black Friday Bonanza pop-up shop, right? It's going to be on 14-25 Central Avenue in Queens, New York. It's a pop-up shop. They're still looking for vendors. So if you are a vendor, there's a pop-up shop November 26th from 1 to 9. And there are already just a list of great businesses that have already committed to going to this pop-up shop. It's going to be a great networking event. Next episode, I'll definitely have the flyer up on the screen. I didn't have the time to put that flyer up on the screen for you guys, but the next episode, I'll definitely have the flyer up on the screen for you guys. And you'll see businesses such as the Launch Collection. You'll also see Flossie Roasting Session. There's just a bunch, right? There's just a bunch. Mitchell Custom Creations, right? Then that's just a few businesses that'll be at this pop-up shop on November 26th. Black Friday Bonanza pop-up shop. So you guys just want to make sure that you're there. It's going to be a great experience. It's not just going to be a place where you can buy stuff. It's going to be a good time, right? It's going to be a good time, good vibes, good people. Make sure that you guys are there. Next week's episode, right? This is where it gets a little touchy, right? Next week's episode is going to be about an assault that occurred last week sometime, where a young lady, or young woman, I should say, was unfortunately taken advantage of and raped on a Philadelphia train. and the article and the news says that this took place for more than 24 stops on a train where there were people on, right? And I want to talk about that with you guys. If you want to be a part of next week's episode, if you want to talk about this as well, this is a serious thing. Rape is one of those things where it happens, unfortunately, right? Like this is something that does happen, and with the how big this story is, rather than just talk about anything, I want to make sure that we touch on this, right? What are some ways that we can help our women, right? What should I do if I'm a bystander, right? And again, this is not to say that whatever we say on the podcast is law and this is what you have to do, but just being able to explore those different options, right? Like, what can I do if I'm a woman and I'm in this situation? What can I do if I'm a bystander and I'm in this situation? What can I do as a woman or a man to help provisions like this from even happening, right? And I just really want to hear what you guys think about this, how you guys feel about this. Just knowing that this happened on a subway train and there were people present, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. And I'm really saddened to hear about this. Like something like this can happen in today's day and age, with cell phones and with the way that things work, like that this was able to go on for so long and no one did anything, right? And no one did anything. So definitely can't wait to talk to you guys about that. And again, just really excited for what you ladies did today. You ladies really came. You really brought it. Hannah has some technical difficulties, so she wasn't able to give us her closing, but you guys will see Hannah again, as well as Kiki and Chrissy when we do part 2 of this episode. And I just want to let you guys know not to forget, right? Just look, one thing, don't forget, right? That a better me equals a better we. From your host, Chrissy and Trey and Kiki, you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week, Tuesday
Bye.
at 8 p.m.
Yes, y'all better be there.
Be there.